So what stands out when you look at Khalil?
Very crafty veteran, very strong, cause a lot of havoc if you don't pay enough attention to him. So have to go out there and get on him early, try to control the game.
Did you match up with him at all last year when they were in the Bears? He'd line up out.
Maybe a play or two. I know he went out early because he had an injury. I think maybe a play or two. I don't really remember.
Joel and AVP both said they thought the last game was one of the best of your career. Would you agree with them?
Yeah, I think I played a very solid game. Grade out probably the highest I have in a minute. So, yeah.
For you, like when you do that, Jen, obviously there's numbers and everything, but personally, what would go into a good game for you? Just not giving up sacks, or your technique, or what goes into a really good game for you?
I mean, really just all of the above. Just trying to be clean across the board, no MAs, things like that. Really try to carry it on to next week. So this coming week and then so on and so forth.
Is it a confidence builder for you to have games like big games like that are stand out and you just feel really good about them?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more important to kind of, keep it going because you can't get complacent and then it turns into a bad week and then that so on and so forth. So.
AVP earlier in the year said that when you want to be dominant, he thinks you're one of the best tackles in the league. First of all, what do you think when you hear him say something like that?
Just like she said, it's a confident booster. But it's more just knowing that I have that ability and making sure that I can do that, play in and play out.
Do you feel like you do play like that? Desire to be dominant?
Yeah, I feel like I started out very strong in the past 4 games, so keep building on that.
We've seen you play a lot, Joe, but for you, what would you say is, to Scott's question about being dominant, what do you think is the one area that you really excel at?
I feel like I had a little bit of leakage in the run game. So it's just, getting the playbooks like I have been and just staying on top of the different fronts and things like that to be able to block, not have MAs or whatever else, but really just being dominant and put it out there, so, yeah.
Is there something you feel like was at the top of your game of preparing for this season and taking this leap that stands out to you as something that you feel impactful?
I feel like I've taken a very big leap in the pass pro. I feel like I've been really solid in that area so far, so try to get the run game to be as equal, so I just be solid across the board, but I feel like I've been done good in both areas, so just kind of keep that going.
You've mentioned the run game a couple of times as far as you feel like you need to be better there. What's, I guess, more challenging for you blocking for the run versus maybe the pass?
When we run our Wanda scheme and we have like the open side 5 where I don't really have any help on the defensive end by myself, there's a tendency for teams to kind of spike that 5, and I kind of get caught in that sometimes. So just being more sound in my technique to make sure that doesn't happen.
When you're coming off a real good game like you had against the Falcons, how do you approach the week so you can build off of that as opposed to, kind of level up?
Really just the exact same way. The exact same way, and it's all about just, going out there and executing on Sunday. So just being prepared, being ready.
How have they adjusted to not having Joey Bosa?
Good for us. I mean, it sucks for him. Hope he gets better, but it helps our offense a lot. We can put more focus on certain players like Khalil. But it's just know that we don't have 2 dominant players on each side. So.
Well, I mean, what have you noticed out of them, how they have adjusted? I mean, I don't know.
Without him?
Yeah, without him.
They're putting a lot of more of their trust in 52, which is evidence like when Clowney's out and Miles is playing by himself. So really just making sure that we account for whoever steps in for him because, they'll be ready to play as well. So.
Yeah, you kind of have to guard against that, like, Bosa's not out there, just focus on Khalil. Maybe like a Kyle Payne, the way you take advantage of that.
He'll definitely get more focus, but Van Noy will also have an opportunity as well. So he's a very crafty vet as well. He's been in the league for a while. He's in a lot of pass rush. So make sure that we put focus in both areas.
You've been blocking for Nick and Kareem for a while. How confident every game you go into that they can have success no matter what defense you're facing?
Extremely confident. I always say as long as we get them past that first and second level, they make a lot of guys miss. They create a lot of big plays. So really just keeping them protected, blocking our butts off, and just letting them work.
Did you feel like, going back to the Atlanta game, did you feel like it was sort of setting up, the script was sort of setting up for you guys like the Pittsburgh game had, where you were going to get in the fourth quarter and just sort of grind them down and wear them down?
I feel like that's our focus going into every game. We know that we're going to run the ball. They know we're going to run the ball. So it's really just whoever executes, and we like to assert our dominance that way. So just, put it out there that we're going to run the ball, and then we do so.
Joe Thomas was with you a lot during training camp. Have any of the tips and pointers he gave you kind of really reverberated these last, just to start the season? Very good start.
I mean, yes and no. It's just kind of like a little technique things, technique tweak stuff that worked for him that he thinks could work for me. So it's always a good thing to try something new. And I've been doing so like week in and week out for whoever I'm blocking. But I feel like he helped me a lot. So.
Going back to today, does anything ever surprise you with him anymore? I mean, that 28-yard run on Sunday, he just put it another gear.
All the time, all the time. Especially like when we get out of the game, you don't really see everything that happens until you watch it on film because they're sometimes 30 yards down the field. But he's definitely a wild player when you turn the tape on.
Do you have like a favorite run? Is there one that you really remember that you're like, how did he do that? Put you on the spot.
I think it was a run versus the Eagles my rookie year, I think, or he like ran for like 75 yards and like stiff armed somebody off their feet. But it's typical for him, so it's typical for him.
Does he wear you guys out? You guys do a lot of pulling and movement to not only just hit the point of attack, but to get that second and third level of the defense. And it seems somewhat amusing to watch you guys get down there and he's running by you guys.
Yeah.
You know? Does he ever wear you guys out?
I mean, pulling definitely gets you tired, but it's usually like an adrenaline boost when you're running and you know that he's behind you. So, I mean, sometimes, but.
How do you know where he is? Because he's behind you. So I guess how tough is it when you're trying to block and clear lanes for him? You don't know what lane he has picked.
Well, there's always certain landmarks that we have to block on the second level for backers and whatnot. So it's really just hitting our landmarks and trusting that he'll make us right. So getting where we need to be and having him cut off of us.